Yo, 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 yo. What it is. I be trying to keep it real with y'all, man. Be trying to keep it real. People rather watch fake. People rather be lied to. I don't know what's wrong with society, man. People cash at people for lies. Hard mode, what it is. Motherfuckers get caught in the lie, they just spin out of it. Niggas don't hold them accountable. Man, it's the internet a wild place, man. It gotta be bots in them comments. It gotta be bots in them comments, man. Because how? I don't understand, yo. How can you be lied to for 7 months and then don't hold the liar accountable? Like, do people do that in real life? When you find out somebody was lying, do you just say nothing? If you was in a relationship with a person, right? And they've been cheating on you for 7 months, but you suspected, you asked them about it several times. They keep denying it, or just act like, yeah, I don't hear what you saying. And then when you finally get confirmation that this person cheating, do you just not say nothing? I need to know, man, because that's what the fuck I be saying online. Do you just not say nothing and just move past it? Or do you hold that person accountable? Like, I asked you this shit 17 times over the course of 7 months, 8 months, and you lied every time. Y'all, I've been telling y'all for months. Sister Tell's been lying. For months. Yo, millions of people watch this girl tell lies. I think a lot of them biased. So some of Diddy charges have been dropped. Now we gotta go to Tisa Towers because she got the details. Let me see if what's called sent it to me. But you know she got the details with a spin. You know what I mean? Long Crime Network got the details with a spin. It's always a spin to it. So we don't watch them for truth. We don't watch them for truth. Urban Science, what's happening? We just watch them to get the information and then distribute it the correct way. Hold up. I've been telling people for the longest time, Tisa tells lies. For the longest time. Yo, because there's no way. Yo, there's no way that you can. Yo, they've been playing hard, Mo. There's no way that you can be in that courtroom, just like Sean G is in that courtroom, and then have a whole different narrative. Y'all told y'all from the beginning, before we even found out Sean G was covering it. I said, yo, why is nobody covering the defense? Every single news channel, mainstream mainly, Tisa Towers is mainstream, y'all. Y'all gotta remember that. Every single news channel was covering the case from the prosecution angle. They wasn't giving the defense angle at all. Even from the beginning, even when the information was coming out. Man, she's mainstream media. I keep telling y'all, she like CNN, she like TMZ, she like Don Lemon, she's not independent. She got a script. I mean, she got to stick to the script. The script that's why she's not backing down from it. That's why even with this situation, she's still not backing down. Like, she's gonna fight this shit to the end because she ain't got no choice. She's stuck on the hill. She gotta stand on it. You've been lying for 7 months. Yo, Hot Mo, you've been here since the beginning. Why was our narrative so different than mainstreams? From the very beginning. Yo, we looking at the same documents. We reading the same information. Why was our narrative so different from mainstream? It doesn't make sense. Somebody's lying. You know, I ain't gonna get up on this bitch and lie. Everything that I've been saying before trial is playing out in trial. Yeah, exactly. And we read the paperwork. We read all the paperwork. We don't paraphrase it. I want everybody to have the same information. Because I ain't trying to mislead nobody. Yeah, she gonna die on that hill. She got to. She got to. So she did a live. And listen, look, and she's still trying to spin the narrative.
The secret to our deodorant is sand. We got a crazy message from a customer named
She's
Mina.
still trying to spin the
Hi, I'm a
narrative.
big fan of your deodorant, and I'm a student.
Talking about Diddy taking the plea. Yo, Diddy ain't taking no plea. Why would you take a plea? He wasn't never taking no plea. Diddy wasn't never telling on nobody. He wasn't. All that shit was garbage. It was nonsense. But listen to her. She's still on the hill, trying to spin the narrative.
This brilliant device.
Instead of just coming clean like, y'all, I was wrong. I know I misled y'all. Nope. Nah, she ain't gonna do that. These YouTubers don't do that. Not the mainstream ones.
Diddy, and you guys, this is not a drill. We need to talk about what happened in the middle of the night, how this played an effect, and what this means going forward. You guys, again, this is not a drill. And this isn't just a little procedural thing. These are some of the biggest charges they have dropped. The violent charges. The ones that showed how deep and dark
He ain't gonna do no young thug shit. That young thug taking the play at the end of the trial was stupid. After you see they ain't got no case. They don't have to, this case wasn't about guilt or innocence. Like I've been saying from the very beginning, this was a slander campaign. This was a slander campaign, man. That's all it was. That's all it was. A slander campaign. That's why they had them frivolous ass lawsuits. That's why you had people announcing lawsuits that they haven't filed. Though none of that is normal behavior. That is slander. They produce no evidence of sex trafficking.
And they just vanished. You guys, this is an emergency. Diddy's team will help us believe that the case, hope we believe that the case is falling apart. And the government, and by the government dropping charges against.
So listen to this shit. Yo, it's obvious the case is falling apart. Diddy team ain't got if you got your own mind, you can see if they dropping charges that the case is falling apart. They don't drop charges on strong cases. It's not Diddy's team. See, y'all gotta pay attention to the wordplay. It ain't Diddy's team. It's the facts. The facts say the case fell apart. They be adding charges. Hey Kim, I'm glad you're here, man. Where you been at? No, we didn't. He didn't ruin his own image. He didn't. The feds ruined his image. Tony Busby ruined his image. Ariel Mitchell ruined his image. Gloria Elray. All of these people as players of the same game. Tisa Tells ruined his image. They all working together. What's the other girl name? Nancy Grace ruined his image.
Diddy left and right. Again, this is not a drill. We need to talk about what it means. Okay, so let's start from the top. Attempted kidnapping, gone.
Because she didn't need to. Just like the rest of these people didn't need to take the stand. Yo, they wasn't facing no time. You understand? Yo, what happened in this case was, being as though a lot of these people that committed crimes, because they all committed crimes. Every single one of them. Cassie, Mia, the fucking the guy that worked at the hotel. Only person that committed crime is Kid Cudi, from what I understand. Any other person that they claim was a witness or a victim that participated in this whole thing all committed crimes. That's why they all got immunity. You don't give immunity deals to people that's not criminals. You understand? They was telling y'all that they was witnesses and they was victims. It wasn't no victims in this. It wasn't Christina Korn. Christina Korn wasn't never going to testify. Why would she testify on Diddy? When they started swirling that around, I told y'all, no, she ain't. She the closest thing to Diddy. You think she gonna testify on him? Man, fuck no. She wasn't testifying on Diddy, ever. It was just lies, man. It was lies. It was manipulation through the media. And ain't none of these people was victims. So you can't be a victim once you benefited. You know what I mean? You can't want in and then turn around and claim victim. They wanted in. It just so happens with Diddy in for some of them was Freakoffs. That was in. If you want to be in my orbit, this is what I need from you. And they oblige. Yo, that is not sex trafficking. They didn't make no money. He spent money. Then he spent millions of dollars on for Freakoffs, and that's cool. If that's what he want to do, that's not a fucking federal offense, and we should never want that to be a federal offense. That's why I did a live yesterday, and I said, yo, if Diddy is committing crimes, then what the fuck is Adam 22 doing? Adam 22 had a whole show about getting another man that had sex with his wife. That ain't trafficking? They not coming across state lines? Like, yo, it's all bogus. Next level, what's up?
Arson, gone. Aiding and abetting sex trafficking, gone. Now, you guys, you know I keep it real with you. I'm going to go live in about 40 minutes, but I want to drop...
She don't keep it real. She do not keep it real. That's all it was, Dexter. What you mean? How? What you mean Adam covered this up by making content that's legal? Why does it have to be content for it to be legal? Adam is doing the same shit Diddy was doing. Adam recorded his wife having sex with other guys. Diddy recorded Cassie and having sex with sex workers. I don't understand the difference. If one is a crime, they both is a crime. But the reality is, none of it is a crime. It's not a crime. Not a federal offense. It ain't worth 30 years in prison. It ain't worth 30 years in prison.
Drop this video first. Now, before we spiral all the way down into despair, I'm going to break this down for you, okay? Because while this looks like the government is folding, it might be something else.
There she go. Listen to her, y'all. Instead of just keeping it real, what else is it, Tisa? If it ain't, the government ain't folding, how often do you see the government drop major counts right before jury, right before that case get handed over to the jury? No, Kim. See, Kim, you listening to the narrative. Diddy wasn't using nothing to carry. Cassie used the videos as leverage. Not Diddy. Cassie used the videos as leverage. Yo, that's mainstream media lying. Lying. They've been lying since the beginning. Trump told y'all in the last election that they was lying. They go, people just don't want to believe. See, yo, once you slander a person, once you got a certain perception of a person, they did it to Kanye. It makes it hard to believe the person or believe what you're actually saying, because you already built this perception of this person in your mind and you standing on it. Yo, yeah, Cassie got caught lying. That whole balcony incident was made up. Cassie got caught lying on the stand. Cassie didn't want Diddy in jail. Cassie wanted money. Cassie got money. That's all she wanted. I really think that Cassie was forced to get on the stand. That's why she didn't stay long. You know what I mean? That's why she got it right. That's why she was on the stand for 3-4 days. Cassie didn't want Diddy in jail, man. Cassie wanted money. Cassie deserved money for the physical abuse that Diddy put her through. She deserved some type of payment. But Cassie was lying. Mia was lying. All these people was lying, man. Kid Cudi should have never even been able to testify. I said that from the beginning. How is Kid Cudi testifying to some shit he don't even know is true? He don't know who firebombed this car. It was a female fingerprint on the bottle. He was cheating on his girlfriend with Cassie. His girl could have firebombed the car. That's some shit a female do anyway. That ain't nothing manly. They let that man testify to some shit he didn't even know was true. That's why they took arson off the table. Because he shouldn't even been able to testify, man. At all. This is what I've been saying since the very beginning, man. I'm not flip-flopping. Yeah, when I break down the case, I don't flip-flop on it. You understand now? Once information come out, Like I said a couple weeks ago, Diddy need to testify. Then once more information came out, I came back and said, yo, they don't even need to provide a defense. I said that before the defense even decided that. Yo, they don't even need to provide a defense because the prosecution is getting spanked in court. All of this came on Keep It G. It's all documented. It's all documented. And it's playing out. And she still, instead of being real, she's still trying to push this false narrative.
Now, what they drop are state level charges. The same state level charges.
Yo, Diddy not getting charged by the state. Diddy, here go more misleading information. They didn't drop state level charges. They dropped federal charges. That he could be charged statewide, but he won't. He won't. If the feds can't get him, you think the state's gonna come back and try to charge him? The state. Yeah, that's not how that shit works. The state normally picks up the case, drops it, the feds pick it up. The feds don't drop cases and the state pick it up. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Now, if they could have found him guilty with the feds, they can come with some state charges. But it's no charges because he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He just was a freak.
That Diddy's team had argued against. Charges that were based on California and New York laws. That's important because this is a federal trial. And keeping it federal might actually be the strongest and best legal strategy that the feds think they have.
Right. That's another thing, Dexter. I told people that before he got on the stand. Yo, what's the boy name? Whatever his name is, he wasn't no drug mule. Brendan Paul wasn't no drug mule. Like, yo, just think about, yo, I did a live yesterday. I mean, a couple days ago. And we went through all the lies. Yo, just think about that. Yo, they called this man a drug mule. We looked up drug mules. We found some. They was moving thousands of kilos. Yo, this man was a guy that was buying drugs for Diddy. He wasn't the seller of drugs. He's not a drug mule. But that's what they told the world to blow the case up. They told the world that it was minors to blow the case up. It was all slander. It wasn't no truth in it. We reading the documents like, yo, where y'all getting this from? Y'all, man, we used to be arguing with people. Yo, where's y'all getting this minor shit from? Ain't no minors in this case. It's only 2 victims. Which it's only 2 victims right now. Yo, it's only 2 victims completely. And they ain't even victims. You find out in the trial that they really were suspects. He don't need no defense. He don't need no defense for that. Like, it is what it is, yo. Because he didn't profit off anything. Now, if he'd have profited, that makes it worse. He didn't profit. He spent money. Diddy like porn, obviously. Obviously, Diddy was a person that enjoyed porn. So he made it. He made it. And he had certain girls that made it happen for him. Cassie was one. 50 Baby Mother was the other. Yo, but they was willing participants. They wanted this. They asked for it. They paid sex workers. They booked flights. They they wanted it. They enjoyed it. I told y'all, and people didn't even really report on this. Cassie had sex with Diddy in 2018 while her husband was on the phone, man. He was on the phone. Brian still said she was on FaceTime. She said, I don't know if it was FaceTime, but he was on the phone. Think about that. Is that a victim? Is this a victim who was supposed to be in sex trafficking in 2012, 2011, come back in 2018, still having sex with the man and she married? That's a victim now. And then all these people took heavy drugs. They try to convince y'all that, yo, drug users are credible witnesses. Heavy drugs. Now they credible witnesses now. For the longest time, drug users ain't been credible. Now, since it's Diddy and since it's these people, oh, now you can believe them now. Yo, but listen, Kim, is that worth 30 years in prison? Is that worth 30 years in prison? Yo, he didn't sex traffic. Y'all keep talking about, yo, sex traffickers. Yo, sex traffickers are people that normally preys on the youth, normally preys on immigrants, normally preys on people that come from runaways. They runaways. And they got pimps who profit off their trafficking. Did Diddy make $1? Was there any testimony that Diddy made $1 off of this? He didn't make no money. So how do you sex traffic? Like, yo, people gotta... He didn't make $1. Everybody benefited, though, Crispin. Everybody benefited. Cassie got nice houses. Got to stay in 5-star hotels. Got to travel the world. 50 baby mother got rent paid. They all profited. Everybody profited. Diddy furnish that girl house? Yo, it's the same concept of if you was in a relationship with a girl, right? And you pay, or a guy, and you paid that person bills. If you paid that person bills, but you wanted threesomes a week. You know, 1 threesome a week. Yo, is that a crime? The federal government is trying to tell y'all now that because of his financial ability, because he was taking care of these people financially, that now the other people couldn't commit. It couldn't be consensual. Yo, that is bogus as a motherfucker. That's bogus. It's not about Diddy, Kim. This shit bigger than Diddy. The feds is overreaching. You don't want this to become a thing. What already became a thing, but you don't want them to start attacking people. Next thing you know, they grabbing OnlyFans models. Is OnlyFans a sex trafficking website? Somebody let me know. Is OnlyFans a sex trafficking website? Is the porn industry sex trafficking women? They haven't indicted OnlyFans. You would have thought they'd have came after OnlyFans first. OnlyFans making a hell of a profit. Why haven't they came after them? Everybody's saying yeah. Why they haven't came after OnlyFans yet? When are they going to arrest the owner of OnlyFans for sex trafficking, having a sex trafficking website that makes millions of dollars, if not billions yearly? When they get evidence, oh my God, see, you just talking. I ain't answering you no more. It's online. What you mean? Diddy did this behind closed doors. They went and got it. It's online. It's online. What the fuck you mean? The evidence is there. You see what goes on OnlyFans. They fucking for $1. Guys, they bringing in different porn stars, and they coming from state to state. They flying all over the place, and they having sex on camera. Why is that not a crime? Why is that not sex trafficking? See, y'all confuse it. Y'all confusing the fact y'all dislike for Diddy. Y'all confusing y'all dislike for Diddy and the abuse that Diddy did to some of these people. And y'all confusing that it's sex trafficking, and it's not. Those are two different things. Cassie and Diddy had a domestic violence relationship, a volatile relationship. You talking about sued and shut down? We talking about federal charges. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, Crispin. Because you're not sticking to the facts. You creating your own narrative.
To keep Diddy hidden away and squirreled away in jail for a long time. Okay. Again, like I said, you guys, this is big. It's huge. And honestly, a lot of people weren't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it.
Only way you wasn't ready for this is if you was following fake news. If you was following fake news, you thought Diddy was ready to go to prison for the rest of his life. If you was following fake news, you thought Diddy molested kids. You thought Diddy molested kids. You thought that mainstream media and all these entertainers was gonna get involved. You thought that the sex parties was the same thing as the Diddy parties. That's what you thought because that's what was sold to you. If you was watching Keep It G News, you knew all that shit was bullshit. If you was watching Keep It G News from the beginning, you knew this all of this was bullshit.
The prosecution, let's call a spade a spade. The prosecution just made a move that has victims stunned. And legal analysis are asking what is going on.
Keep calling them victims.
Again, multiple charges against Sean Diddy Combs have officially been dropped. Not dismissed by the court, not ruled on by a jury, but dropped by the government itself. Voluntarily.
Ain't no crime next level.
In the middle of the case, this isn't gossip. This is confirmed.
No.
This is public record.
Hey, Crispy, you are misled, y'all. If you think it was minors at the Freakoffs, yo, it wasn't nobody at the Freakoffs but Diddy, his girlfriends, and his sex workers. If you still think it was minors at the Freakoffs, then you are just confused. Yeah, man, you fuck around believing unicorns.
That I'll go on live later to talk about. And I'm already asking the same questions you are. Does this mean the case is collapsing? Is Diddy about to walk? I know you're seeing the panic. And you have every right to feel it. But don't worry, because I got you. Because while this move looks shocking on the surface, my sources are saying, and legal sources, not my neighbor, even though I do talk to my neighbor, my neighbor, it may actually be more strategic than you.
Yo, the fuck? Yeah. Yo, she is dying, but yo, she just won't let it go. Just let it go, yo. Let it go, shorty. Keep it real. You've been lying for the longest. Yo, just come clean. God damn. Yo, this is diabolical work, man. Yo, this is the dirtiest work I've seen on the internet in so long. Like, yo, this is crazy. She don't have, yo, she's lying about sources, yo. Nobody's telling her this. I'm ready to start telling y'all what my sources said. Yo, my sources told me a long time ago that this case was bogus. Yeah, man, my legal sources told me a long time ago. That's it. For people wondering, how I knew this, my sources told me everything, y'all. It's not coming from me. Everything I ever told y'all about this case is coming from my sources. Yo, my sources told me back in October that Cassie enjoyed the Freakoffs. Came from my sources, man. Legal sources. Yeah, man. Don't question them.
You think. And there's more going on here than what's being tweeted. Okay? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly which charges were dropped, why the government have made this decision, what this means for the remaining charges, and whether Diddy could still face serious consequences. Because yes, the possibility of conviction is still much on the table, and it actually even is a possibility that they
I told you, Kenneth, motherfuckers don't want to give me credit, y'all. It ain't another YouTuber been more right about this case than me. It's not one. That been since day 2 of Diddy being arrested. Yo, we been telling the truth the whole time, yo. And remember, there used to be thousands. Yo, we used to have 100-something thousand people at the end of the live. Over that bitch called me all type of names, and I'm like, yo, y'all is seriously misled. Yo, you don't listen to mainstream media, and don't listen to YouTubers that present themselves as independent, but they really mainstream media as well.
California state are going to pick up those charges. You guys, if you care about justice, if you care about survivors, and if you care about this case not being swept under the rug.
Yo, you see what she doing? Survivors. Yo, we don't believe all victims, y'all. If you walk around screaming believe all victims, then you lost already. Yo, people lie, man. Yo, we don't believe all police. We don't believe all victims. I don't believe my girls sometimes. Shit, my kids lie. What the fuck that we just supposed to believe all victims? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. You be a goddamn fool walking around talking about believe all. Anybody that believes that shit is losing. You better not believe all politicians. Shit, you better not believe half of what you see. You know what they say? Believe some of what you see and none of what you hear. Yo, question everything. Don't fucking believe no all victims. These motherfuckers lying. She the biggest lie.
Stay with me, because what just happened in the courtroom could shape the outcome, will shape the outcome of this entire trial. Let's get into this. Okay, let's get into exactly what was dropped and why that decision is way more complicated than it looks. As of June 24th, the federal prosecutors confirmed that they are no longer pursuing the following charges against Diddy: attempted kidnapping under both California and New York law, attempted arson under California law, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking. Those were serious, violent allegations. These weren't PR crimes he was being accused of. These are the charges that pointed to violence, manipulation, and calculated harm. And now they're off the table, completely removed from the jury consideration. Now, why did the government drop these? Here's what you need to understand. And this is where the government's playbook starts to show. 1, the charges were based on state law, not federal. That means that they would have introduced different legal definitions, different jury instructions, and standards from California and New York, all inside a federal courtroom. That was messy. The feds decided that was too risky. It gives the defense room to confuse the jury or call a mistrial. 2, the defense just filed a Rule 29 motion, which basically
Yo, so they didn't know this beforehand, Tisa? Like, why is she acting like the feds didn't know this beforehand? They dropped it because they haven't proved it in court. It's plain and simple. They dropped these charges because they haven't proved it in court. Plain and simple. There ain't no other explanation. Like, she's trying to confuse her viewers. There's no other explanation other than the fact that they didn't have the evidence. If they had the evidence, they'd have kept it.
Says judge, there's not enough evidence to even let the jury decide this. So the prosecutors took the hint. Rather than get slapped down by the court.
All right, Kim, I'm glad you said, Kim, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, cause I told y'all, what's up, Siobhan? I told y'all it's about controlling the narrative, man. It's a fight over the narrative between mainstream media and YouTubers and bloggers. So what they did was to try to even the playing field, not even even it. To gain advantage in the playing field was they put their own people on YouTube. Tisa Tells is one of them people.
Or confused the jury enough to let Diddy walk because nobody understood what was going on. They dropped the weak link themselves. They cut off the arm to save the whole body. It's a legal retreat for sure, but one that protects the rest of the case from collapsing under crossfire. And 3, they may be repackaging those same facts, the threats, the control, and the abuse under federal RICO and forced labor statutes. While the labels are maybe gone, the conduct may still be used to prove a bigger pattern. That is key. Because if they can show this was all part of a criminal enterprise, the RICO enterprise charges sticks. And with RICO, they only need 2 predicate acts to lock in decades of prison time.
Look, the code to losing weight was cracked a long time ago. The problem is, nobody is doing it right.
This is what I'd do if I had to lose 20 pounds in 30 days.
If you want to drop this, start eating more of these. You might think this would take years to learn, but I'm going to teach it to you in 60 seconds. Watch this.
Visceral fat can cause inflammation. It can accumulate in the heart, in the muscles, in the liver. Visceral fat is like a direct line to metabolic and cardiovascular disease. This type of abdominal fat is associated with a higher risk of death. So how do we get rid of dangerous visceral fat? Well, it's a lot easier than you might think.
Am I the only one that didn't know this about visceral fat?
Some of it is what you can pinch around the midline. Some of it is a large fat apron. This is all visceral fat and it is highly inflammatory. Literally, this inflammation caused by this inflammatory organ is killing us.
Did you know that you wear your health on your face and your body? And it's true, there are powerful biomarkers that you can visibly see, but you might not know what they mean and what they're telling you about your health.
I want to talk to you about something that's been making waves on social media lately. You've probably seen this guy all over your feed claiming that cutting carbs isn't necessary for weight loss. No need for long hours on the treadmill either. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but let me tell you, there's more to this than meets the eye. I decided to delve into this topic and do some research. Turns out.
So you guys, let's be clear. Despite what Diddy's side is saying, this is not the end of the case.
Tim's not on no Diddy
But
payroll.
it is a test
Tim's
of
been
how
lying
far the
too.
government is willing to go. They've already scaled back. They've already edited the story they're telling the jury. And now the major pressure is gone. While the remaining charges, RICO, SMEX trafficking, and forced labor hold, will the remaining charges hold strong?
She
Or
came
will
on
this
side,
trash-
bro. She came on side. Watch the numbers. Yo, if a person cop on YouTube and your numbers don't start in the hundreds, if you ain't in the hundreds for about 5-6 months before you get in the thousands, then yo, you compromise. Yo, you was brought on here by the system, because YouTube don't even allow that to happen. You might be in the hundreds for a year before you get into a thousands. You come on YouTube and in 2 months you at 10,000 views a video. That's, man, you working with a corporation.
Shrink down into something easier to dismiss. You guys, we're at a crossroads, and new information is coming out every day. That's why it's important that you guys check me out in trial today. I'm going to court. It's starting late today. I'm going in at 12, taking notes, leaving when I need to, and giving you guys real-time updates. Because how this plays out next could determine whether the survivors get justice or just clean.
Yo, they're not victims, y'all. She keep talking about survivors. Yo, these are not victims. Everybody wanted in, man. Project Baby, what it is. They all wanted in. If you want in, there's gonna be some people that let you in, man. Be careful what you ask for. Like if anything is to be learned from this trial, though, that is the most important thing to learn. Be careful what you ask for. You might get it, but it might not come in the form. It might not be what you think. That's what this was. Everybody wanted in. Everybody wanted to be around Diddy. Diddy's a billionaire. They just didn't know at what cost. But you're not a victim.
Jury instructions, because we need to look at what this means for justice and what could still go wrong. Because we need to zoom out. Because this isn't just about Sean Diddy Combs. This is about the playbook that the powerful have created to use to survive accountability. The moment the government starts dropping serious charges mid-trial, the public starts to lose confidence. People are rightly asking, is this really about the law, or is it about how much money you have to fight it and conceal evidence? And if this were anyone else, would the charges still be standing? And you know what? Those are fair questions. This is a new celebrity trial playbook. We've seen this pattern before. The public shot, the strategic ethics trial, confusing legal language, and a conviction, it's now a maybe.
Yo, she playing on you heard that's her, you heard that she just gave y'all her playbook. Listen to it again. See if you caught it.
Pattern before. The public shot, the strategic ethics trial, confusing legal language, and a conviction, it's now a maybe. And then appeals, reductions, reversals, and deals. By the time sentencing comes around, these headlines have cooled, the pressure is gone, and punishment gets softer.
You hear that? That's her playbook, y'all. That's mainstream media. That's straight out of mainstream media. Play on the people. You know, play on their emotion. Mislead them, misguide them. Then come back later and act like it never happened. That's what she just said. I don't know if y'all caught that. And I'm going to play it one more time.
And then appeals, reductions, reversals, celebrity trial playbook. We've seen this pattern before. The public shot, the strategic ethics trial, confusing legal language, and a conviction, it's now a maybe. And then appeals, reductions, reversals, and deals. By the time sentencing comes around, these headlines have cooled, the pressure.
You see what I'm saying? These headlines of code, that's how they're able to lie to you and just move past it. Because people forget. People forget. Yo, this girl been lying from the beginning. But people forgot. People still subscribing. Still cash apping. Now let's go. We can go to the comments. Let's go to the comments. I gotta get ready to go to work. We can listen to the rest of it in the car. Y'all know me. I'm always on her ass. It's not one victim in Diddy case. You lied to your orders. You should be ashamed. Nancy Grace is gonna blow. You should blow a head gasket for being lied to. This is why most victims stay silent. Listen to the ignorance in the people. All these witnesses, all these weeks, the evidence and the victims been brave enough to come forward. The feds should be charged for putting them at risk. No, you should be charged for listening to lies. Oh, so this is an attorney. What a slap in the face to the ones that told the truth of the abuse they endured. What in the baby oil is going on? Yo, he talked. He told something. You know what the fuck he did. This man is a shape-shifting demon, I swear. Hey, yo, this is funny. This news makes me sick to my stomach. Tisa is pissed. You can hear the emotion in her voice. You should be pissed for listening to that nonsense, believing it's the truth. All right, somebody got some sense. I pray justice is served. This man has done too much harm to so many. I don't know. They ain't supposed to be watching none of it, but I'm sure they is. I have no faith in the justice system after this. You shouldn't have no faith in mainstream media after this. It's not the justice system. The justice system always been flawed. He shouldn't have even been charged. Please don't ever lose that. I hear the passion in your voice. Like, yo, this is the shit this is why these people are able to lie, manipulate the people, and just move past it, yo, because people are ignorant. People are ignorant. Yo, it's multiple ignorance in this world. You know, it ain't just the people that ain't figured out life that's ignorant. No, hell no. You know, a lot of people just put ignorance on them. The motherfuckers that's running the streets, committing crimes, they think they the only ignorant people. No, it's another version of ignorance too. The people that believe everything they hear, they ignorant as well. Ignorant to how this country works. Ignorant to how mainstream media works. So they just believe what they hear. Yeah, what I'm coming to realize is people like to be lied to, man. They just don't know that yet. If I was over this bitch lying from the beginning, if I told y'all from the beginning that, yo, Diddy's ready to take down the whole industry, you know how many views that would have got? If I'd have told y'all Jay-Z was next like everybody else, you know how many views that would have got? If I was chasing views off of paranoid ignorance, I'd probably be at 200,000 subscribers. But since I'm trying to speak truth, it don't work the same when you trying to be honest and be truthful about it. I could have been on this bitch telling y'all Jay-Z next. I could have been on here telling y'all who's Diddy gonna tell on. I knew Diddy wasn't telling because it was in documents. His lawyer Ben said it. Fucking the first month, Diddy lawyer said, yo, he's not telling on anybody. Diddy wants to prove his innocence. Like, a lot of people think I just been giving my opinion. No, I've been reading the documents and giving it to people the right way. I'm not distorting the facts. It was in documents that Diddy wasn't telling. It was in documents that Diddy wanted to prove his innocence because Diddy know the play. Diddy know what this is about. Diddy know this is about the liquor company. He know they trying to take him down. He know this. So I'm gonna fight. And the difference between Diddy and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby is Diddy got way more money than them. If y'all thought Diddy was gonna spend 30 million on a legal team or 10 million on a legal team and coming in and lose, then you was mistaken. You must not know how this system works. This is a money system. It's a money system. He who got the money wins. That's how this shit works. It ain't about justice. Because Kim, this is the thing. The liquor company never wanted him a part of it. Ever. They never wanted him a part of it. It was documented. They really did racially discriminate against him. It was documented. They looked at Diddy like, I dare you. I dare you come after us after we done helped you. But realized in reality, helped each other. Ciroc was a struggling brand. Diddy turned Ciroc into a motherfucking $1 billion liquor brand. Exactly, it's worth $60 billion. So imagine the pull that they got. Imagine the pull that the liquor company has for them to be able to pull this off. That's what all this was about. They fucked Diddy over. They promised Diddy his own brand. Then they gave him his own brand and they didn't put no money behind it. So Diddy sued him for racial discrimination. You know, that can ruin a company. Racial discrimination. So they say, all right, we're going to settle behind closed doors. We're going to part ways and we coming to get you. And they coming to get you. And that's what they did. And they employed Tony Busby. They employed Gloria Allred. They employed Ariel Mitchell to run slander campaigns on them. Like, yo, and that's what this was all about. And that's what I've been saying from the beginning. This was a slander campaign, man. How you tell the world, like, how was these people able to get on these platforms and lie like that? Like, they told blatant falsehoods intentionally. Intentionally. They went on platform after platform after platform and lied. Ariel Mitchell told y'all that she had tapes of Diddy with underage kids that never came out. They never came out because they didn't exist. And I know they didn't exist because Diddy sued it for $50 million and then the paperwork said they didn't exist. But the YouTubers that was following the case wasn't posting that. Why? Why are you giving half truths? Why aren't you giving the facts? Only thing that makes sense to me is they was in on a play. They was in on a play. Like, it's no excuse. Like I was talking to my man earlier. It's no excuse how Sean G is in the courtroom and Tisa Towers is in the courtroom, and they coming back with totally different narratives on what happened in court. You can't explain that other than somebody's lying. Somebody is lying. Typically, in them type of situations where, you know, it's possible. It's possible to be in the same place and look at things different, but not that different. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we gotta agree on something. So for her being in the courtroom every day, and if you can remember, when the girl Lauren was going there from the Breakfast Club, she was telling everybody the same thing. Then they stopped her from going. What the fuck? Why Lauren ain't going? Why Lauren stopped covering the case? Lauren was doing a good job. She was telling the truth. They stopped her from going. Why? Ain't nobody never questioned that. I know I did. She was doing great work. At the time, she was the best one reporting on it. She went for the first week saying it was bullshit, was reporting it correctly, and they stopped her. Who the fuck did that and why? Somebody asked Lauren why she don't report on the case no more. Why she stopped going to court? Who told her? Who told her to stop going to court? Sunday best what it is. I'm just saying, y'all. I want all them people back that thought we was lying from the beginning. I need to see them now. But like I said, most people don't like to admit they was lied to. So just like Tisa tells is going to die on that hill, everybody else that believed it and followed it, they're going to do the same. It's like believing in Santa Claus until you're 40 and you find out Santa Claus ain't real. You know what I mean? That he ain't real. I believe it. I've been believing him all this time. I might as well keep believing. You lying. You feel me? They rather just believe it than just admit that they was lied to. You said TBC. But all of them was compromised, man. Like I said, it was a narrative, man. It was slander. Diddy, you wanna fuck over? You wanna play with us? We got something for your motherfucking ass. We know you like them Freakoffs. And we know you abuse Cassie. We gonna make that shit public to the world. Let them know that you're abusing. You ain't this man that you was portraying yourself out to be. You're abusing. And that's what they did. Yeah, for real. You're right though, a lot of people like being lied to. Just think about it, yo. I was telling people last night, I can be out with my homeboys all night and get in the house late. The girl asked you where you was at, you was with your homeboys, she don't believe you. But I can be out with my homeboys all night and come in the house late. And my girl asked me where I was at, I said I was with a girl, she gonna believe it. That's a lie. Yo, people like being lied to. You understand what I'm saying? People just don't know it. You know, that's a hard thing to fathom that you enjoy lies. You know what I mean? People love a pretty lie, man. People love a pretty lie. Think about it sometimes. You know what I mean? You can motherfucker tell a nigga lie, a person a lie, they be all is. People don't like the truth, man. That's why most of these YouTubers that's winning, that's what they do. They just lie to their fan base. They lie to their followers. Tisa Towers told you to play. Matter of fact, let me play that again. Cause we ain't finished. Told you to play. Release your stories and headlines. Eventually they're gonna go away. Yo, I told y'all a long time ago. I told y'all, I said y'all guarantee once this trial starts, them lawsuits disappear. Who was on that live when I said that? Appreciate it, Nino. I said, yo, once the case starts, these lawsuits are gonna disappear. And that's what the fuck happened. That's what happened. You don't hear nothing about them no more. They were slowly disappearing before the trial even started because they wasn't the headline no more. They couldn't have the lawsuits shining at the same time as the slander campaign on Diddy. The lawsuits was just a prelude. The lawsuits was a prelude to the slander campaign. You can't run them at the same time. You run one, then you run the other. Now once the case over, they probably bring them back up. The lawsuit's gonna be a thing again. It's all about slander, man. It's all about slander. It's not about justice. This system ain't about justice anyway. It's the barter system. I keep telling y'all. It's not a justice system. It's a barter system. One hand wipe the other. Both wipe the face. That's how this system works. Everybody takes payment. Pay $30 million for a legal tape, you ain't losing. Straight up. You ain't losing. Pay too much money to lose. That's how the system works, y'all. See, the thing that separates me from a lot of these people is I've been done dirty by the system. I know how it works. It wasn't the federal system, but it's all the same. You know how it works. They lie, they coerce witnesses. This things I've been telling y'all from the beginning. They would coerce witnesses. They would falsify evidence. They would lie on it. They would do all of that. If they want you bad enough, they do all of it. There ain't no justice in this system. Very few people get justice out of this system. Most people just get railroaded. Most people get railroaded and get hit with trumped up charges. There might be some justice sprinkled in there. Along the lines. Along the way, man. I don't think they signed up for this though, Kim. I think Diddy went up against an entity that was bigger than him. Diddy thought he was bigger than the program. That is true. He thought he was bigger than the program. He thought that. I think he thought for one he was gonna have the black community support. I think he probably is really upset about how black people turned on him. But I don't think it was black people. Not the organic ones. You know, a lot of people just was believing what they hear. And black people are emotional. So it's whenever you're dealing with people that's emotional, you can control them. If a person can control your emotions, they can control you. That's why you gotta, you know, be careful what you give energy to. If I can control how you feel, I can dictate your next move. That's the game. That always been the game. Especially when it comes down to black people. They learned that years ago. All you gotta do is make them emotional. Get a rise out of them. Get them angry. Get them frustrated. They're gonna do what they always do. They're gonna go against their own. You tell them it was kids involved, they ain't gonna want to hear the facts. You know what I mean? Fuck kids. Who wants to hear from anybody that's accused of messing with kids? That's the easiest play. Tell him that he did this to kids. Watch what happens. It's the easiest play. That's fun. What the fuck? That's fun. It's just a towel.
Slots, the DraftKings casino app's got you covered. They got tons of slots to choose from, like Cash Eruption.
That was messy. The feds decided that was too risky. It gives the defense room to confuse the jury or call a mistrial. 2, the defense just filed a Rule 29 motion, which basically says, Judge, there's not enough evidence to even let the jury decide this. So the prosecutors took the hint. Rather than get slapped down by the court and embarrassed publicly or confuse the jury enough to let Diddy walk because nobody understood.
This is already embarrassing. This is already embarrassing. Yo, with Diddy, the Rule 29, yo, that's typical, that's standard in any criminal case. In most criminal cases, before the case goes to the jury, they're gonna ask for a mistrial. They're gonna say they didn't prove that. Like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, I don't know if people understand law or they just blatantly lying. But what they did was standard. It was standard. Look, this haven't been proved. This haven't proved. Before this go to the jury, we want these charges dropped. That's what happened. It wasn't to confuse nothing. That was standard. That was good lawyer work.
What was going on? They dropped the weak link themselves. They cut off the arm to save the whole body. It's a legal retreat for sure, but one that protects the rest of the case from collapsing under crossfire. And 3, they may be repackaging those same facts, the threats, the control, and the abuse under federal RICO and forced labor statutes. While the labels are maybe gone, the conduct may still be used to prove a bigger pattern. That is key. Because if they can show this was all part of a criminal enterprise, the RICO enterprise charges sticks. And with RICO, they only need 2 predicate acts to lock in decades of prison time. So you guys, let's be clear. Despite what Diddy's side is saying, this is not the end of the case, but it is a test of how far the government is willing to go. They've already scaled back the jury, and now while the remaining charges, RICO, sex trafficking, will the remaining charges hold strong, or will this trial shrink down into something easier to dismiss? You guys, we're at a crossroad.
Yo, that is crazy that she's saying this though, yo. Like, yo, it should be everybody in the comments getting on her about that shit. Yo, you misled your people, yo. Like, yo, people don't even care about the people that follow them. Like, you misled the shit out of your people. You had them on a cliff and just had them hanging. And man, see over that bitch. You had your people on the cliff hanging, yo, for information, and it was lies. And now it's being shown that it was lies. And instead of saying, you know what, y'all, my bad. I seriously overreached. You know, I was running with the mainstream narrative. I was wrong. I apologize. I'm gonna do better next time. Nope. She keep him on the cliff. Keep him on the cliff. But see, that's media. That's how media works. Media trained. I ain't media. I ain't one of the, I'm trying to tell y'all the truth every time. How I see it. You feel me? I ain't never gonna get on this bitch and sell you a story. I ain't trying to sell you no dreams. I ain't got time for that. I ain't wasting 2-3 hours out my day to sell a motherfucking dream. Nah, fuck no. That's what she do though. Yeah, she did. Yo, what's up, OC? Yo, the whole time, bro, she was telling lies. Yo, she was telling people Tony Busby was credible. I remember this because we watched the video. And then when Tony Busby got proved that he was extortionist, like we've been saying for months, she flipped on him. Act like she ain't even never say it. Like, I was like, wow. Like, that's what I realized, that, yo, you can lie to people and just move on. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna hold you accountable. It should have been mass unsubscribing when she did that. You sit there and told people Tony Busby was credible all this time. Meanwhile, it's in documents that he ain't credible. It's in documents that he's an extortionist. It's in documents that he dirty as a motherfucker. But how did you miss these documents when you've been covering them? Oh, so you only covering the things that make Diddy look bad. You ain't really into the truth. You ain't covering both sides. You just covering the part that make Diddy look like he was having sex with kids and shit. Okay, I see what you're doing. You on some bullshit. You ain't interested in telling the truth. You trying to sell a dream. You trying to sell books. You trying to sell merch. You ain't interested in the selling facts. Like I said, yo, it's no way how. Doesn't make sense how we've been over here telling people that the case was bogus from before the case started, and we all had the same information. Can't explain that. I'm reading the same documents you read. Why am I distributing the information differently than you is? It don't make sense. He ain't going to prison again. If you do, he gonna get time served.
You guys, we're at a crossroads, and new information is coming out every day. That's why it's important that you guys check me out in trial today. I'm going to court starting late today. I'm going in at 12, taking notes, leaving when I need to, and giving you guys real-time updates. Because how this plays out next could determine whether the survivors get justice or just clean jury instructions. Because we need to look at what this means for justice and what could still go wrong. Because we need to zoom out. Because this isn't just about Sean Diddy Combs. This is about the playbook that the powerful had created to use to survive accountability. The moment the government starts dropping serious charges mid-trial, the public starts to lose confidence. People are rightly asking, is this really about the law, or is it about how much money you have to fight it and conceal evidence? And if this were anyone else, would the charges still be standing? And And you know what? Those are fair questions. This is a new celebrity trial playbook. We've seen this pattern before. The public shot, the strategic ethics McTrial, confusing legal language, and a conviction, it's now a maybe. And then appeals, reductions, reversals, and deals. By the time sentencing comes around, these headlines have cooled, the pressure is gone, and punishment gets softer.
Yo, Diddy
That's
need to
how
sue.
public memory works.
Diddy need to sue him. See, the reason why Diddy probably can't sue him is she's reading information. She's just breaking it down wrong. Intentionally though. Because she not no, I don't think she's stupid. You know what I mean? So she's giving real information, but it's on the curve. You know what I mean? She giving it in a way to make Diddy look like a fucking, well, I guess he probably could sue her for defamation. He definitely need to sue her, but she got some backing, yo. She not in this alone. She mainstream. Just like Law and Crime Network, mainstream. Remember, we exposed Law and Crime Network months ago. Law and Crime Network backed up by Soft Bank. I wonder what interest Soft Bank has in media. Soft Bank worth $100 billion. Anybody backed up by a corporation, you can't trust them. Law and Crime Network is a blog channel. It's not a news. It's not a reputable news site. It's different. No, hell no. She ain't got to be the only one saying it. They suing Ariel Mitchell. They suing the girl that said that she got tapes on Diddy dealing with kids. That girl being sued. Man. Alright, I'm on live. I'm calling when I get to work. Yeah, man. Hold up. Everybody, what you mean? Tisa Toe said it. Tisa Toe said it was tapes with Diddy with kids. She said everything that mainstream media pushed. She said everything that mainstream media pushed. Remember, that was the thing, y'all. Remember, everybody thought Diddy was with kids, and we never thought that over here. Like, yo, some of y'all need to go back and go to the beginning. Go back to like October on my channel and see what I was saying about Diddy. See if it varies from what I'm saying now. It wasn't never no kids. Yo, for months, Law and Crime Network intentionally confused people with making it seem like the Diddy parties was the problem. You know why they did that? You know why they made Diddy parties the same thing as Diddy Freakoffs? Because it separates the industry from it. Now nobody wants to be a part of it because they told y'all it was kids involved. Nobody want to co-sign that. You understand what I'm saying? So you keep them on an island. You make the parties the issue. Because everybody know Diddy had parties. Everybody know everyone in the industry is there. So if you make the parties the issue, like you gotta pay attention to the play. I've been saying from the beginning, yo, it's not the parties. Nothing wrong with Diddy parties. You got the whole world thinking Diddy parties is the issue, like they having freak-offs in the parties, and they not. Diddy freaked off with his girlfriends. Not even all of them. Just 2. But you put them on an island. You put them on an island by making the parties the issue. LeBron James went to the parties. Meek Mills went to the parties. Everybody went to the parties. That's the way of keeping everybody silent.
Works. That's how power stretches this to its advantage. Okay? It's crazy that they dropped the most attempted, the most serious charges. And this is a playbook that the rich and powerful, ever since Tony M.F.ing Busby got involved, this has been allowed to happen. We'll talk about that later. I know you don't see the connection, but I do. And this is why I was so mad at Busby and lost faith in him. Because what his antics did.
What? see, one I just telling you about Tony Busby. So she was on Tony Busby fan bus when there was evidence that Tony Busby was lying. Yo, we read lawsuits of Diddy supposed to be raping a girl with a remote control that sound like a fucking movie. We read lawsuits where a 13-year-old got dropped off at the MTV Awards and somehow ended up in Diddy limousine. And like, yo, that shit sound fake. Every single one of them. We read lawsuits when Diddy posted. Like, yo, go back and watch the videos. Like, we didn't read so many lawsuits that Tony Busby filed. And I'm like, yo, there's no way people believe this. But I know why people believe, because everybody else, they wasn't reading the whole document. They were just paraphrasing and putting their own narrative on it. But we read the whole documents. They all was fake. They wasn't real. I think before then, people didn't know you can file fake lawsuits on people. But now you know. Be careful. Be careful with lawsuits you believe, man. A lot of them bitches be fake. We living in a social media era where you can threaten people with releasing false information on them, and they can ruin their reputation. So a lot of people will just pay. Jay-Z said, fuck no. You got to prove this. And I'm going to sue your motherfucking ass for $10 million because I lost $10 million. I can't look. She crazy. Nobody believes Tony Busby but people that listen to mainstream media.
Happen. We'll talk about that later. I know you don't see the connection, but I do. And this is why I was so mad at Busby and lost faith in him. Because what his antics did, his cases did, was muddy the water so much. The word left here, but we'll talk about that later. Let's just get into the conviction.
Now she blaming Busby. So you don't take no accountability for reporting that shit. Now she's saying what I've been saying the whole time. Tony Busby muddied the waters. Ariel Mitchell muddied the waters. That was intentional. She was part of the play. Now she's separating herself from it. You participated. You're part of the same organization, Pride. Probably working for the same people. Yo, I think I got a better understanding of media because some of the videos I've done and some of the research that I've done. Like, you realize that it's only a few media companies and they own everything. So, the Breakfast Club and Power 105 and Hot 97 ran by the same people. But you wouldn't know that because sometimes they be at odds. You got Ebro beefing with Charlemagne, but they really working for the same corporation. They really on the same team. That's how media works. Now she's acting like she's in opposition to Tony Busby. But if you go to her page, she was telling y'all Tony Busby dropped a bombshell lawsuit and this is going to destroy Diddy and all this bullshit. And people say, I can't believe people sat back and allowed that and not saying nothing. I go, that is amazing to me. I might as well start lying too. Fuck it. This shit. And that's how I be looking sometimes like, damn, if you can lie on this bitch and people don't hold you accountable and people still fuck with you, then what the fuck am I telling the truth for? It's much easier to lie. You know what I mean? It's much easier to lie than to be honest and tell the truth. Especially when you don't gotta take accountability for it. You can just move on past it and act like it never happened. Like that's a different world, yo. I ain't know that's where we was at people. That's people. No, I can't do no lie. I'm just saying, I just be like, damn. I'm out this bitch wasting my time, fucking my channel up, getting videos, getting my lives ended, because I'm over this bitch telling the truth. But I could be over this bitch running with the same narrative, and I probably could get rich. But that go against everything I died for.
Hey, just got off the phone with my doctor. What's up? I have kidney cancer. What? How? Let's get into the convicted. If he's convicted, he could still walk light. Let's just say Diddy is convicted. But then what? The sentencing is its own game. Prosecutors recommend years, and the defense argues months. And suddenly, probation's on the table. And then come the appeals. The defense will say they dropped charges for a reason. The jury was confused. The evidence was circumstantial. And this wasn't forced, it was consensual. And in that moment, when the headlines are gone and the courtroom is quiet, that's when victims may lose everything. They risk everything to say. So what do we do with this? We stay loud, you guys. We stay focused. We stop assuming that the first conviction is the final word, because the justice system isn't designed to protect the public from powerful people, not without pressure. And every sleazebag millionaire, every one of them, every sleazebag billionaire is using this.
Yo, she probably get off her videos and bust out laughing. Like, I can't believe they believed it. Like, yo, she got it. It's no way when the video ends that she sit back with a straight face and think I did a good job. Well, she probably do think she did a good job, but think that she probably like, I hope they brought it. But I hope they brought it. I've been on this bitch live for years. See, the thing is, by the time she get to where she going, yeah, that's what she does though, man. Yeah, y'all. Say it froze up. Yeah, my bad. That shit fucking I'm on the way to work and shit. But yeah, I was saying that she just over there lying, you know. And after she get off her live, she I know she chuckled just a little bit. Like, I hope they believe that shit. But the problem is, by the time people catch on to the lie, she already got rich. It don't even matter no more. You know what I mean? Cause they don't care about the people that they affect. You know, they don't care about that. That doesn't matter to them. They don't care about the damage and the reputation damage that it's doing to people. They in it for self. They selling out. They sellouts. Even when it come down to her, like, I've been on her heels, yo, because who is she? Where she come from? There's no information on her. She too big not to have a Wikipedia that explains her life. You know, like, why? Eventually they're gonna put one up there, but it's too late now. She should have been had one up. We should have been able to dig into this girl background. What's her real name? You know what I mean? Who's her parents? Where she come from? What city? What state? She don't run. Why she ain't never talk about growing up and what city she grew up from? That girl an industry plan. She might be AI. Hey man, I got you, man. You gotta meet me at work. Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking lying ass. Sean G just did a live. Check y'all, see what he had to say. Sean G probably doing the victory lap. And he should. Sean G been doing great work. He been doing great work the whole time. Oh yeah, see.
Letter in the mail.
Sean G on it. He on this shit.
To help others in need.
Tisa tells more lies.
Yo, what's up, man?
Straight up, man. Sweep the Sean G, man. I've been saying Tisa tells. That's my name for her. Tisa tells lies. I've been saying that shit since last year. Tisa tells lies, back at it again.
Wednesday, June the 25th, 2025. Welcome to the podcast with Soul. Thank y'all for coming. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it.
Yeah,
if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Please share this video with somebody else that you know who is also covering the Puffy case or following the Puffy trial. I just saw a video by Tisa Tells, and the title of the video says Diddy gave up big names. Let me put the
packing in order.
This is the video.
Live there.
Diddy gave up big names. louder.
Look, what I tell y'all though, yo, that is a salacious ass headline. And she racking up donations, bro. They is scrambling and scraping. It tells me the freak off, y'all. When Diddy come home here, we gotta find a way to get Tisa Tells and the Diddy freak off. I mean that shit. I mean that. Tisa Tells need, and she need one in the back of it. She need one of Cassie freak offs, not 50 Big Mother one. She need one of the ones that Cassie was involved. Nope, not Cassie. She need one of 50 Big Mother freak offs, man. Multiple different guys. You know what I mean? Did he put her on an allowance? $10,000 a month. You know, probably give her 15. You know, times change. You know, price of living it went up. You feel me? $15,000 a month. Freak off 3 times a week. 4 different guys. I bet she come on YouTube with a different mind frame then. Lying ass. Keep lying to the people. Yeah, she'll do it. I think that's all she want, for real. That's all she want out of this is to get a freak off. Just one.
This is a lie, just like all the other lies that Tisa tells. There is absolutely zero evidence, zero proof that Puffy cooperated or snitched or ratted in any way at this point. If he were to be found guilty and at sentencing he provided some assistance to the government, the assistant U.S. attorney at that time would let the judge know that Mr. Combs provided assistance or substantial assistance and should be given a consideration for a downward departure in his sentence, that he executed a proffer agreement, did a Rule 35B, or he signed the 5K on providing assistance and cooperating to help the government. As of today, none of that. We have absolutely zero proof that any of that has taken place. This girl is going around assassinating Puffy's character. You know, one thing you don't do is make allegations like that against somebody when you do not have the proof. Now, if there's anybody that has been snitching and been ratting in and around the courtroom, it has been her. It has been rumored that she is the one that helped get juror number 6 taken off the jury.
Dang.
She actually started telling the people about me that I was one that disclosed Mia's real name when in fact it was her. Tisa Tells. So, you know, you do anything for clicks, inflammatory descriptions and videos, inflammatory thumbnails. To this point, there has been zero evidence, and I've been in the courtroom every day, that Puffy is a snitch, he's a rat, or he cooperated with the feds in any way. In her video, she makes reference to Tekashi 6ix9ine and Sammy the Bull Gravano, all of these people who are known cooperators. And it seems like if you listen to the video, she's reading from artificial intelligence. But there's absolutely zero credibility to her story of what she's saying about Puffy cooperating. Nobody knows why those state charges were dropped. Could be that the prosecution's evidence is weak, and that their case is weak, and that has been exposed throughout this trial for the last 6 weeks. And yesterday by Alexandra Shapiro, when she was given her request for a Rule 29 motion. But Tisa Tells is telling lies, as she usually does. Never reports the facts as they come out of the courtroom.
Never.
Me, I am a 24th floor overflow in courtroom observer. Been covering the trial every single day, and not one shred of evidence has come out that Puffy is a rat, a snitch, or that he cooperated. Only the prosecution and Puffy's defense team at this point know why those state charges were dropped. But for her to come out and make a video titled "Diddy gave up big names" is some straight bullshit. You know, and that's pretty much what it.
Yeah, that's all she does. It's lie, yo. Like, yo, this shit is crazy. It's crazy she getting away with that shit, man. And it's, you know, I typically don't even go at females, yo, but what she doing is egregious, man. And it been egregious. It been egregious from the beginning, from the very beginning, from the onset. You know, it's female bloggers that can go, but with her, man, fuck no, man. That shit she doing is wrong. You just sitting here, and plus I don't think she American black either. I think she just pushing false narratives, intentional, misleading. Talking about Tony Busby muddy the waters. Nah, short. You muddy the waters. You muddy the waters. Fuck. Goddamn Tony Busby. You don't put that on Tony Busby. And you don't take no accountability in it. I don't know. Doing that. I ain't about this bitch. Straight up. Wild King Nights. Wild King Nights coming back. Hey yo. They bring a Wild, when Diddy get home, he bring a Wild King Nights back. You hear me? At least for the first couple weeks. Until we're gonna try to get Tisa Tells on the list. Fuck that. Try to get Tisa Tells a Freakoffs, man. That's I think that's really the issue. Yo, she haven't had a Wild King Night. You give her a Wild King Night, she gonna change, man. Her whole perspective, the way she reports stories is all gonna be different. One Wild King Night. What's up, Dave? Huh? I don't think that's too much to ask for real. Yo, we asking for too much? By saying Tisa Tells need a Wild King Night? Who you talking about? Sean G? I supposed to have Sean G on my live. I'm gonna do it this weekend. I told him last weekend, but I forgot I had to work. I'm gonna get him on there this weekend. Tisa Tells features in Wild King Nights. She need one, y'all. I'm telling you, she'll start reporting different. At least she'll start reporting the facts because she was there. You know what I mean? This she can at least give her. I mean, she probably lied in that situation. You never know. Her lying ass. She might still lie even after being a part of a Freakoff. Even with a first-hand account, she still gonna lie about it. That's for real, Kip. Wild King Nights. That's gonna be our next live, man. Tisa Tells agrees to Wild King Nights. Fuck it. She making salacious titles. Diddy. That's our next live, yo. Tisa Tells formally agrees to Wild King Night with Diddy. Fuck it, since we lying and shit. You know what I mean? Might as well make it funny. She probably is, man. Might have to get her. She might get Diddy that All-Star nights that 50 baby mother bluffed on. She might get Diddy that. You know that's when the relationship changed, yo. When 50 baby mother bluffed on All-Star nights, it was a wrap. He ain't had no more respect for her. Fucking Wild King Nights featuring Tisa Tells. Guest feature to the towels. You hear me? Wow, okay, nice. Yo, hold up. I gotta check this oil in this truck for real. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. And the reason why, yeah, we've been able to poke fun and have jokes with this shit is because yo, I don't believe these people was victims. If I thought they was victims, I wouldn't be doing none of this, yo. I mean, even though we still telling the truth, but we having fun at the same time. If I thought these was real victims, I wouldn't be doing this, man. I would be real. But yo, you can't be a victim and a willing participant. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta pick a side, yo. If you're gonna be a victim, there should be evidence that you're a victim. There's no evidence that these people are victims. All the messages that we seen screams willing participant, not victims. Victims ain't had no choice. All of these people had choices, man. They had decisions to make. They chose to participate in Freakoffs for whatever reason, and they all benefited. Because none of that is important. Like, just like it's Texas saying that, with whatever they said, it's Texas that also say that, yo, I enjoyed the Freakoffs. I can't wait till the next one. It's Texas with Cassie. It's texting Diddy, do you want to freak off? Diddy telling her no. No, I can't do it today, but we can set something up for Friday. Oh, man. Must be a busy day today. These motherfuckers ain't waste no time. Yeah, the case is garbage, man. They shouldn't have never charged her with this shit. But like I said, I don't actually think it was about arresting Diddy or Diddy going to prison. I just think it was a slander campaign. So now they didn't destroy his resume. He'll never be looked at the same, ever. He'll never be looked at the same. Shit, she fucking loud. These motherfuckers must be taking pictures and shit now. Yeah, they be getting out of control with this shit. It ain't takes no one, even after 29 years. But what if you say no, then say yeah? How does that work, Kim? If you say no once and then next time you saying yeah. Next time 89117. How does that work? Oh yeah, I gotta take these pictures real quick. Okay. See if I got my fucking order. You said what? Some places prostitution not illegal. I know, that's what I've been saying, Rob. Like if the feds was gonna start pursuing this as a way of as a way of criminality, yo, they should have got OnlyFans first. You would think. OnlyFans should have been the first on the chopping block, not Diddy. OnlyFans been trafficking. If Diddy was trafficking, OnlyFans been trafficking for 7 years now. You know what I mean? They've been trafficking for years. How the fuck you just skip over there and go straight to Diddy? That was crazy. That doesn't make sense. I would have thought they was a much easier target. Yeah, but this case is not really. It's not about illegalities, man. Like they coming after Diddy morally. Yeah, man. Being immoral isn't a crime, man. They coming after Diddy for the way Diddy like sex with certain women. That shouldn't be a crime, man. It shouldn't be a crime if he wanna get sex workers to fuck his girlfriends. That should. Hey, real. There you go. There you go. Real with the building, y'all. What's up, real? How you feeling today, man? You better send me that 29, chat. How you feeling today, real? He did drug, Cassie. What are you talking about? Cassie loved drugs. Just like most of America love drugs. Cassie loved drugs. Cassie was using drugs without Diddy. Cassie and Mia was Cassie drug dealer. He didn't have to drug Cassie. Yo, you can't put drugs in baby oil. You know what I mean? That was a lie. He didn't drug her. He beat her for certain. But he's not charged. The statute of limitations is up for that. And Cassie got paid for what Diddy did to her. Cassie got paid for that. Cassie wanted money. Cassie wanted money. You know I can't see, man. You already know Robert. Diddy know something we don't know. Steve Harvey's fuck with the baby oil too. That nigga say he need baby oil for everything. You heard me. Yeah. That's all she wanted. There's out of all the allegations that was made on Diddy, there hasn't been not one police report. Think about that, y'all. They taking this man to trial, and they don't got no police reports. They ain't got no police reports for none of these things, none of these beatings, none of these extortions, none of no bribe, no nothing. There's no police reports. That's what it's about. Black Dollar TV. That's what it is. That's all it's about. Diddy bit the hand and feet, and Diddy crossed the line, man. This is just an example of what happens when you cross the line. He didn't blow up Kid Cudi's car. Kid Cudi can't prove that. When Kid Cudi asked Diddy about that, Diddy said, "What car? What car? What car are you referring to, kid?" Diddy ain't blow up no car. Kid Cudi shouldn't be able to testify. That's why they took the arson off the table. Kid Cudi shouldn't have never been able to testify. Because Kid Cudi don't know who did that shit to him, man. Kid Cudi was cheating on his girl with Cassie, man. Girl probably did it. It probably was Cassie DNA on the bottom. He need to walk. He need to walk. You never know. You know what I mean? But even if he don't walk, that still don't take away from the fact that the case was bogus. What you mean, good luck? Real? They took the arson off the table. That's not one of the predicate acts no more. So which means Kid Cudi testimony is irrelevant. If you mean good luck with that. That's what the fuck. That's what happened today. That's what we talking about right now. He must just came in. They took a lot of them counts off the table. Yeah, see, but Black Dollars, and that's the problem. Like, yo, that's something that's been part of the world for a long time. You know what I mean? All the rich people do it. They gonna start criminalizing rich people, or they just gonna attack Diddy. What's up, Tank? Are they gonna start, Big Bro? What's up? Are they gonna start criticizing Diddy? I mean, they gonna start coming after everybody that buy plane tickets for women and might give them a couple dollars. No, that ain't trafficking, man. That's not trafficking. That's a lifestyle. Rockstar living. You know what I mean? It's rockstar living, man. You know what I mean? Dealing with different women, flying them to you, flying them back out. Y'all partying, y'all drugging. It's a lifestyle, man. Some people ain't never lived it, so they don't understand it. Sunshine. Got Sunshine in the building, y'all. No, I'm not excusing Diddy for putting his hands on Cassie. Like that's a total different situation. But you can't correlate Diddy putting his hands on Cassie to Cassie wanting to participate in freak-offs. That ain't the same. And that's the connection the feds is trying to make. The feds is trying to say because Diddy put his hands on Cassie, then Cassie couldn't possibly consent to the freak-offs, and that is a lie. It was times when Diddy told Cassie he didn't want a freak-off. She wanted it. You know what I mean? All of this came out in court. So y'all can't forget Cassie had the tapes. Because it's text messages, Kim. It's text messages that's showing that she wanted it. Like I said, it was times when Diddy told her, no, you got a lot to do. We can't freak off this weekend. You know what I mean? And she never even called the police. And she got paid. Like, she got paid. Like, what more do you want? Okay, yeah, I did you wrong. Yeah, this shit was fucked up. Here's $20 million. And he got extorted for that. Right. Yeah, right. She did say she was going to give a freak off for Christmas. I forgot about that. We had Christmas freak offs that came out in the motherfucker in court. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas freak offs, Cam. What would you do? Would you give would you give your significant other a freak off for Christmas? Like, look, I want to do something different this year. We gonna do a freak off. We normally do gifts Christmas, but this year, in remembrance of Diddy, we gonna do a freak off. You know what I mean? Could you ever come to your significant other with that proposition? What they gonna say? Hey yo, make sure I hit that like button, yo. Make sure I subscribe to the channel. I gotta run. I gotta make. Hold on, let's see what the fuck this is. Yeah, but is that sex trafficking though? I don't think when she said no, I don't think Diddy made her. When she said no, it was no for that day. It was no for that day. Yo, come on, y'all. We ain't got time for this shit. But the next day, you know what I mean? The next day, you never know what the day might hold, man. Next day might be different. She might woke up she might woke up in a good mood. You know what I mean? She was in a freak off mood. She done freaked off for 3-4 days. She was tired. She told Diddy no. Couple days of recovery. Diddy, what's up? What we doing? Man, you already know what we doing. We freaking off. Yo, why they always fucking with my shit, yo? We freaking off. Alright, yo, let me do this, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Shit, fucking stupid. It's another day of Keep It G News, and I'm out.